Live.
Live?
Live.
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 Notification yet.
Let's see.
Are you iPhone?
Yeah. So I'm gonna work your damn. Oh, there we go.
Boom.
There it is.
Boom ski. Volume's over here. And touch it. There you go. It always does that. I should have just put it on the Wi-Fi. Okay.
What are you taking a picture of, Janelle?
Take a picture. Okay,
14.
welcome to episode 26, guys. You know, this is going to be a kind of a short show tonight. This is bigger than RC cars tonight. Let's start with our shout outs. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to Paul Peterson at Shark Bodies, Troy Schroeder at Phantom, Steve Negri at RCRI, Milo Carvalho at Flash Packs, Jason at Raw Speed. What are some of the others? JR at Stealth Designs.
John.
A huge shout out, which we'll get in a little bit more in a minute, to Justin Holt, not only for supplying us and making us with some custom stuff, but also for everything the young man did at Race Wars. It was really awesome. So with that, who's the guy that did the
John Fullwitter.
Fullwitter? That's right.
Fullwitter.
Fullwitter. We want to give a shout out to him for donating the what was it, the
Patina Cuda body.
Patina Cuda. I keep wanting to say Charger, but yeah, the Cuda body that was, you know, and it's at first I'd seen some people do it, and it looked pretty cool because they did a good job. And then you had told me that this guy had reached out and he wanted to do. That's what he does. He does patina bodies, and I think we're all like, okay, that's cool. Let's see it. So he painted one, and until I saw this thing in my hand, you know, he sent me some pictures, I think. When you first took a peek at it, and I looked at it and I said, man, that looks cool, right on, that's really nice of him. But then when I got this thing in my hands and I looked at it, I was like, oh my god, the bumpers look like they're really rusting off the car. I mean, it was awesome. So how they must have some metal in the paint or something, I don't know, but because he said it was real rust. But shout out to him. A big shout out to Jake and all the guys, Hunter and Tim and everybody that helps out at Jake's Performance Hobbies in Roner Park. Jake made a huge donation to Race Wars that I think really amped up the raffle for Saint Jude's. So again, you can find Jake where? At 707-586-3375. I don't know if the camera could see it.
See that.
Unfortunately, hi Jamie. Everybody say hi to Jamie. Jamie's not here tonight.
Hi, Jamie.
But is there any other shout outs you guys want to give out? What about David that brought out the hot rod? Brian
Musco.
Brian
Brought out that 29 Ford you guys saw, and that I fired up a few times and
super nice
rattled
guy.
some eardrums.
Scared the kids.
Yeah, scared the kids. Watch this. Hey kids, come here. It was really cool. This guy brought $150,000 blown old Ford coupe out, and it was really ripping car. I mean, the thing was gorgeous. I instantly fell in love with it when I saw it. And then I got to meet Brian after the race, and he was a really cool guy, and I couldn't thank him enough.
So everybody's seen what the car looks like, so everybody has an idea how small those windows are. I was walking around filming it with my
I didn't
phone.
want to get into it.
I was walking around filming it. I went to put my phone in the window.
Yeah.
My phone wouldn't go through the fucking window. The freaking window.
And then not only that, the floor with the tunnel for the big massive transmission, you're sitting in it and it's only about this wide or so. And then down at the feet or towards the front of the car, going towards the firewall, the transmission tunnel arcs over like so. I mean, even Ricky's wedged in Brian. He's what, 6'5"? I mean, he's a big dude. You know,
He's about 6.
Oh, well, he's taller than I am. So either way, you know, Brian, if this gets back to you, man, from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of these guys' hearts, thank you very much. That meant a lot to us. I think it kind of added a wow factor to and I think that, you know, had some stuff not happened earlier in the week, that Race Wars would have even been bigger. We'll get into that in a minute. And my neighbor's leaving, evidently.
I get to drive that car.
I know, awesome.
Blind spots like you couldn't imagine.
Oh, I couldn't imagine, dude.
Everywhere except for straight ahead and out the little window.
I'm driving like this, looking around.
You have this and this. That's it. I'm surprised you didn't have some cameras on it.
You can see fine.
Okay.
It's a lot better than what you look at that car. I was looking. My truck was parked next to it, and here's the 29. The roof was as high as my bed of my C10.
Oh well.
Like you could see my bed just level with the roof of this car.
Wow.
But no, you can see out of it.
What about you?
What about me?
Any shout-outs? No? Okay. So first thing we want to do.
Shout out to everybody that came.
Everybody that came, yeah.
support, everybody that wanted to come.
Everybody that wanted to come. Everybody that was there in their hearts.
Watching on my shoddy videos.
I don't really want to get into it too deep. So what we're going to do here is we're going to recap Race Wars real quick, and then we got the big grand finale, and that's going to be it for the show. It's going to be a really short show. Next week or the week after, I want to do maybe a lot of guys have been just bugging me off the hook about the R1 stuff, and I think that between us three that we've figured it out that we could bust one out here. I got a brand new one on the table. We could just hook it up and it's got nothing in it and just start off at step one and just show people at least what some of the stuff means and where it's going to either help or hurt your car. So with that, I want to start off with talking about race of our shows. You guys know what's in our hearts. So that's what we set out to do. And, from the people and the tallies that I took in the last 4 or 5 months since we came up with the idea, I had expected well over 100 people. On Monday afternoon, I was with my mom looking at a house, and my stepdad called and he said, "Hey, there's a code enforcement officer here that was looking for you in Sonoma County." And I said, "Well, I don't even live there. What'd you tell him?" And he said, he goes, I told him that if he leaves his name and number, that his mother lives here, but he doesn't live here. Somehow he had my mom's address, and they're both retired officers, so that was kind of weird. And I got back to my mom's house about 20 minutes later, and I got on the phone with the guy, and the guy says, I highly advise you not to have this race wars. And I said, whoa. I said, first of all, it's a remote control car race that's a benefit for blah, 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 blah. I told him how we were going to run the race with the masks and the social distancing. And I said, but how do you even know about it? And he goes, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, because it's, our Facebooks are private and 707 Streetcars is private, so I don't see how, and he goes, oh, no, we don't have a team of Facebook people looking for events happening. We actually have a hotline. It's really easy to get the number to. And I said, oh, really? And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, can you tell me who called? And he goes, no, I can't. He says, the call originated in Southern California, but I can't tell you the guy's name because I just... I can't, I would lose my job. And I said, you know what, that's fine. And the guy asked me that, he said, so now that you've been warned, and the way he worded it was almost like I was being taped, you know what I'm saying? He says, can I get your verbal confirmation that you won't hold this race? And I said, sure. And we went into oh shit mode, We spent 3 days looking for a new spot. And out of all the drama and all the crap that it caused, the biggest thing that was a letdown for me is, in a way, we'll just say this guy that would have called this hotline to do this a couple minutes, or a couple days before the race, and give us this kind of trouble. Was hard to deal with, but the biggest blow and the biggest hit to us was the Saint Jude's thing. I mean, that's who they were really hurting, and somebody that would do that, because you couldn't know about that race and not know about Saint Jude's. I mean, we've been saying it the whole time, and knowing you were going to do that, I just think that was really rotten. So we know what's what, and with that being said, 2 or 3 days before the race, I and Ricky and Randy had talked to enough people that we felt that, what, this is unconstitutional. You can't open up the malls and this and that and tell us we can't have our race. So we decided to have it. And I wasn't going to lie, I was scared about having it. They threatened me with $20,000 worth of fines if I were to have it. They made it sound like they might come out to the race, and they never did. So tell us something about the race. Randy, tell me what time your day started.
We were there at 5:30.
I was up at probably a little before 5. Made some coffee. Got ready. Did I sleep?
You better.
No, I didn't sleep very much. I never do anyways. I'm always up early, no matter what. Got up, made coffee, started loading the truck. Started throwing my table in there, my pit mat in there, my toolbox in there, my ice chest in there, cars, everything I could think that I would need if I did anything, if I broke anything, or if I could help out with anything, if anybody else needed any parts. Threw what I could in there and hit the road for the track. I mean, I probably lived the closest besides probably Gabe.
Okay.
But
yeah, probably. Totally.
I was up there waiting.
Ricky, you started early too. I did as well. I think I started at 5 or 5:15. I got a full-size Super Crew cab Ford F-150 that was just, I couldn't have anything more else in there. It would have fallen off the top of the stuff I had in there. It was a lot of setup. It took probably took me by myself, just my stuff, probably 2 hours to set up everything. It was a lot of stuff. And then the racers started showing up. Well, when I got there, I think you were already there. Were you already there?
Oh, yeah.
You were there.
Hunter was there before I was.
And Hunter was there from Jake's, and I immediately pulled in and popped up the curb into the dirt and started setting up my stuff. And from there, it was game on. So tell me about a little bit about the animosity building up to the race for you in the morning before the race started, and you were setting up and.
I would. No live audience comments, please. Couple buddies from out of town came over the night before, and there was some drinking involved, so I wasn't up to speed Saturday morning, but managed to get the trailer loaded, get everything up there. It's kind of cool to see our guys, Hunter, Tim, and whoever else jumped in to help with the setup and blowing the track off, and kind of made it a little easier because I thought I was going to be doing that.
Yeah, I brought mine too. And then I talked to Hunter the night before, and he's like, "Yeah, I plan on getting up there really early and bringing my gas leaf blower." I'm like, "Awesome, you're awesome, thank you, Hunter."
But then people started rolling in that I recognized some of them and some of them I didn't, and after a little while I was able to put a face to the name and realize who they were. But I was amazed at how early people started showing up there. Whether they stayed the night up here or they just drove where they came from. There was people, 6 o'clock, there was guys standing there ready.
So tell me, Ricky, the week building up from the time Monday happened, the 6 days before the race, and I got, threatened by the Sonoma County Code Enforcement, and all of that went down. How much did we post on the Facebook about it?
Not a word.
Not a word. And the reason why is I figured whoever he was that ratted us out and wanted to try and ruin our race for Saint Jude's was still watching the website. We didn't, there was some other stuff that was going on the exact same day that kind of made it look really suspect. And with what the code enforcement officer said to me, we kind of pinned it down to who it was. We won't talk about that. But we were afraid that if we posted it, we had to, once I told the guy that we weren't going to have it, we were going to try and have it and slide under the radar, it kind of knocked. One thing we couldn't rebuild was the animosity building up on Facebook. We couldn't promote it like we were going to. We couldn't talk about it every day and psych people up about it, But I think that, we still had a good turnout. It's probably one of the biggest turnouts I've ever seen. And it was a really, really good event. Tell us, when the drivers' meeting started, I had some problems with the mic. The mic cord was messed up, and we fixed that. Explain to us how your day started from after the drivers' meeting.
I don't know. I just I was floating around setting stuff up, so that's all. Then grab all my stuff in. Had all my cars. I think I put both my cars out. Got my charger set up, charged my batteries, got the cars ready, and then I think it was helping other people do other stuff.
Do you feel like that took away from your race program a little bit?
No. I was in it, but I wasn't in it to win it. I was just there to support the cause, and I didn't care whether or not if I placed anywhere in the finals or not. So that took its toll, but I wasn't doing it to try to win the money. I was just doing it to support the cause, throw money toward the kids. I bought back in. I got out, lost first round, bought back in, got knocked out second round. Okay, started helping doing whatever I could. Because I mean, that's what I was there
You know
for.
what?
Not
Being one of your best buddies, just seeing you from a distance, I could tell you were there for a bigger cause because it's in your heart. You know,
Yeah.
and we're not going to get into it right now. We'll finish up with that, but with what I'm talking about, and that is that I just want to say I'm really proud of all of us. We did something amazing, and it was just it's beyond. You know, I thought it was be right about what happened, the final turnout of what I'm talking about. But I think it had the potential of being bigger. But all in all, with everything that happened, everything we had to deal with and shovel with at the last minute, I think that what we set out to accomplish was really awesome. Aside from the Saint Jude's raffle, tell us about Ricky. Tell us about the competition.
There, from what I saw in Vegas to this race, people have made tremendous improvements with speed on their cars.
Yeah.
There was some pretty fast cars out there. A lot of mid-motor cars, dude, making fast passes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
I noticed a lot of cars, myself being at the driver's stand, I noticed a lot of the guys that, some of the guys from out of town, I don't remember who was from or whatever, a lot of them were really relying on clutches, and they had really, really, really fast chassis. They were dialed chassis, but they leave on that clutch, and I just looked at the car leave, and I'm just like, dude, I mean, you know, I have one word to say, and that's jackrabbit. You know what I'm saying? That thing needs to pop out of the hole. It just pop up like one of those poppers, you know? And they weren't, but they left smooth, and they were making hard hits. And tell us about the day itself. What was going on with the atmosphere?
Dude, I can honestly say this is the first race I went to where there was no negativity. None.
Nothing. No drama. It was just a really, 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 really fun event that worked smoothly, and we had thought it and then overthought it and then revised it and then thought it out again and then made a backdoor B plan, and I think that you know, us attacking it that way really, really added, what you say, Randy, to the even flow of the day. I mean, the day couldn't have worked any smoother. You know what I'm saying?
We're up here. We're fortunate to have the good race program we have with Gabe and everything, that we have a structure of how to run things already.
Which we apply to that.
Oh, yeah. Which is just like, okay, we're gonna go do this, but we don't know what we're doing, so we'll just figure out when we get there. We have stuff that's already been structured that works smoothly in our normal race program that transitioned over great. That I think helped hands down.
And I think if I may say that the out-of-towners that weren't used to, maybe they're some of the ones that might change some rules or whatever it is, they all came in, they grasped the rules the first time. Everybody played nice. Everybody, I don't think we found one car we had to disqualify. Everybody, we set up 4 tables, or was it 2 tables? I don't know, a couple tables with wipes. We didn't see some of our faraway out-of-towners. I think that might have had something to do with what happened earlier in the week. We were hoping that maybe Jill and Toby would have come up, or I think they were on vacation or something. And then the RC Diva and her dad, Jasmine, we were hoping they came out. But there was, you know, we got massive wildfires. You know, we're all in COVID. We live in California, so we got some of the strictest lockdown stuff. You know, and we're getting at a point as Californians where we're about ready going, oh yeah, or governor, you know. So we were just like, you know, other people, there's 85 people playing soccer without masks in a closed down, you know, park locally. There's, you know, probably a couple hundred people at the mall that they just opened. That's bullshit. We're doing it. We're having our race. So we had the race. There was a lot of stiff competition. Tell us, I want to say we probably had, if you guys would agree, anywhere from 30 to 40 lots of stuff to raffle off. Lot meaning this, and this, and that was a lot, one ticket. And thank you to all our sponsors and the people that aren't sponsors that reached out to help do this, because at the end of the day, hold on, let's get to that in a minute. Let's finish up. So, from where I was standing, my money was on the Ghost for the day. I'm a good judge. I can tell, people say, well, where's 132 feet? And I say, right there to about that line right there. And you measure it out, actually. And it's, remember we did that with you one time? And you're like, no way, dude. There's like a foot off. I was like, yeah, I told you, So I know what these cars sound like. I know what the cars aren't doing or need to do or are doing by just listening to them. I'm a very good judge of watching these cars run. And my money was on the Ghost for the day. Unfortunately, there was some guys that were there that were just as fast, I think, that were neck and neck. And at the end of the day, we had a run of bad luck. I wasn't running. Ricky wasn't running. Randy did. Randy had a couple problems, which I really wish hadn't happened because we didn't really have any other horses in the race.
Yeah, no, it was my fault because my drag car care program is throw it on the shelf and pull it out when you need to use it and hope it works.
Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work out for Dakota Steel too well. Dakota used to do that. Anyway, last round, there's two guys, and one of them is Chase and the other guy. And then the third guy for the semifinals had a bye run. And he did his bye run right, I think. And then...
Did he do his bye run, or they just both charged? I think, did they both just charge and then go to...
It was 4 for the finals. Because
there's 3.
No, it was 3. Somebody had a bye run.
And then
the ghost that was actually lined up in the race.
So Chase lined up against the guy that got second place.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, I think, had a bye run.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, all I know is I remember watching that race, and here's my take on it. I hit the light green. The cars take off. The Ghost does what it does. It jackrabbits. There's 3 or 4 feet on the other car and gaining momentum. At about 100 feet, the car got out of control. I think a little bit too much power came in or something like that, and it threw the car off a little bit. And the other guy was making just a beautiful A to B pass. Well, he got out of it, and he I would have to say that was one thing I noticed about Chase, that when he had to get out of it, he knew exactly right when to get back in. So what happened was he got out of it. It was a really quick correction because the car didn't get too far out. It was just starting to, and he caught it. And then he never got back into it that I could see. The other car just drove right by him. And come to find out that he did get back in it, but when he hit it, it was still spooled up on the turbo because his pedal was so fast that it obliterated the spur gear. So the car just coasted to a stop. The other guy advanced to the final round with the other guy that had the don't tell me.
Kyle Ash and Ray Gong.
And Ray Gong, yeah, and they teamed up, and I believe the young kid was from Arizona. Mm-hmm. Yes. He did very well. All the Arizona guys did great. And Mr. Gong, he just at the end,
he showed up to tech. Gabe checked his battery, and I see Gabe kind of shake his head a little bit, like, what the hell?
Okay.
Gabe turns around and says, hey, his battery voltage is at 7.81. Yeah. It was 7.81. And I even offered the guy a pack. And he's like, no, we'll be good. I'm just going to run it.
My car's dipping like that.
I'm like, I got a pack right there. My trailer's
right
here.
Hold on. You guys tell me. Somebody tell me. At this point, the Ghost is out. You got an Arizona guy, a California guy. How much were they going for?
$38.40 for first and $9.60 for second.
Almost $4,000 for first place. And this guy says, "No, I'll send it."
It was 7.81.
It's one thing that I've noticed with RC racing in 30 years, that when you're running it good and you're having a good day and things are dialed in, of course you want to continue to do your maintenance. You want to cycle your packs. You want to, check your bolts and stuff like that. But whenever I've gotten and gone, I think I can get a little bit more out of it, and I make a last little minute adjustment, or I double guess something that I did earlier in the day that's been working. That's always what bit like an off road, an oval. That's always what bit me, and I'd finish second. So you got to go with your gut sometimes and don't second guess yourself. The car's working. Leave it, and that's what he did. He took the dice and he gambled, and the guy walked away with almost $4,000. So there was to second place. The young man, what was his name again? Kyle Ash ended up with second place. He got $980 or something. $960 for second. First, second, and third, I bought trophies. Everybody got a trophy. The DR10 class was won by a multi-area code person who's originally from the 707.
He's transient.
Yeah, he's a transient area code guy. I'd like to give a big shout out to Baby T.
Baby T.
He ended up taking the DR10 class. I don't remember much about the race. I mean, I was going all day. So, I mean, I just saw so many freaking races that day. That some of the highlights, like the one car that he went out and then he brought it back and he just smashed the curb and it kicked it up in the air and flew through the air through like 3 pits and then smashed and bent in somebody's shade awning leg. That was amazing. I had one girl came up to me and she's like, "Look, I got it all on videotape." And I said, "Dude, send that to me." So I also want to give a big shout out to Janelle. Thank you for everything you did for us. That was really sweet. You worked your butt off that day and it meant a lot to me. It really did. So, tell me, guys, what is that? What is
That
this?
is a check I'd like to put into my checking account.
Yeah, me too. Randy, who's this going to?
Saint Jude's.
This is going to Saint Jude's. This is what we set out for. This is what it was all about. So, to the guy that did what he did to us a week and a half ago, yeah. This is a check that was generated off of cash money that was given out to the waffle that we had at the race. We had 3 different waffles. We had a 50-50.
We can call it a raffle.
Okay. It was a 50-50. 50% went to the winner. I think he won $270.
Yeah, and he donated $100 back.
And then he donated $100 back. So our half that we kept went to Saint Jude's. And then this gentleman, what was his name?
Nick Hill out of Vegas.
Nick Hill. Thank you so much, Nick Hill. Nick Hill turned around and said, "You know what? It's for St. Jude's. Here's another $100 out of my winnings." And then we had the dollar raffle. This was for the smaller stuff, the fan mounts, the cap packs, stuff like that were given out at the raffle. And that generated money for St. Jude's as well. Then we had the bigger raffle with the shark bodies and a car from Jake's. I donated a car. We had a bunch of battery packs from Jen's Ace. What's up? Thank you, Jen's Ace. And Jen's Ace makes great stuff. We had a Phantom pack. That's what we run. We love Phantom packs. So we feel like they're one of the best. And that money from that raffle went to St. Jude's as well. And tell me, how much did we earn?
$32.26.
$32.26. 3,000. Can you see that on there? Tell me when you can see it.
Yeah. Just go look on the damn screen. So I'm gonna wait 5 minutes for it to show it there. Oh yeah, perfect.
You can see it.
So that is made out to St. Jude's Children's Hospital for $32.26. Thank you to all our sponsors. This is what we set out to do, okay? This is set out to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, 501 St. Jude Place, Memphis, Tennessee. Okay? What I'm going to do... So, we've written uncompensated care fund on the front of this, and what that is they have 2 different funds, and one goes for the kids and it also goes to help run the administration, what needs to happen too, because that's kind of what makes all this work. But the compensated care fund is what gives 100% to the kids. So that's what I feel like Sally Struthers right now. Okay, like she always looks like she's crying, but she's not. She holds it together. Oh wait, is that a different lady? Okay, anyway.
No idea.
So I want to cover this. So there's the St. Jude's check for $32.26. I'm putting it in the paper. We are taking the paper.
Should we write on the paper?
Huh?
Should we write something on the paper? Because there's nothing on there but the return address.
That's all we need.
From.
This is anonymous, man. This, we don't need, I saw something on Facebook a long time ago, and it was stupid to hear it on Facebook, but it said,
Should just put 707 Street Card.
if you help a homeless guy out and give him $20 or buy him lunch or something, and then you hold your cell phone up to show it off to the world on Facebook, what a great guy you are, did you really help him? And I don't think that that's what this was about. Do you guys agree? This is about just sending it to him, I'm sealing it. What do you want to write on the note?
No, just 707 streetcars.
Okay, well, where's the pen? You got a pen?
It's alright, seal it up. Seal it up.
Okay. You can write it on there. It's not too late.
Seal it.
Going once, Okay, so this has got 2 stamps on it. Let's go mail this thing. We go mail this thing?
How far's the mailbox?
Like,
should we walk?
No, we gotta drive. But
Isn't
take
there
the
one right on
camera.
the other side
Why
of
don't
the
you guys
shopping
come with
center?
us? We're gonna go throw this in the mailbox. We'll be right back.
Isn't there one on the other side of this little market?
No. We're going to the main mail hub.
I'm sitting behind.
You gotta put the front seat back, just the front.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You wanna hold that for me?
Yes, I am in the back seat of a car.
There's no kids with us. We don't want to hit the Jeep.
It's across the street? Oh, no. That
No.
one. Never mind, wrong Jeep. That one.
Okay, here we go.
Swing by on the way back, LOL. Matt Kid.
Wrong post office, Matt.
Actually, this is right next to.
Well, his work.
I smell the devil's lettuce, big time. That's green, but it's not my green. Yeah, buddy,
their
go.
green.
Where'd you learn how to drive, Jerky?
They're watching our live feed. They were sidetracked.
Come on.
Unfortunately, Tory Jones, I don't think that'll happen. There we go. Dan's trying to make a 132-foot pass.
Woohoo, we hit 40 mile an hour.
Focus.
I bet you my RC car would beat it.
Off the line, hell yeah. But your RC car doesn't have an e-brake.
Oh, God. Will Smith, Dan was a little late on that light. Yeah. Sleeping on the tree.
Let's go back and do it again. I didn't know we were doing it for. Hold on. How do I turn my light on in here? There we go. Saint Jude's Children's Hospital research. 707 streetcars. This is what it was all about, guys. Thank you so much to everybody that showed up, everybody who dipped into their pockets and said, you know what, let's buy some raffle kits for these kids. Thank you to Paul Peterson, Milo, and Jake, and just everybody that chipped into that raffle. It really meant a lot. So let me back up a little bit. I went too far. You got a light on that thing?
I don't know how to turn.
There it is.
Boom.
There it is.
Donk.
That's it. I don't know what button it is.
There you go.
All right, you got it. It doesn't. It
It's
doesn't
a
want
Ford. Don't do it.
It doesn't want to bring
We
the
might
back
have
end
to walk
around.
home.
Okay.
Good thing it ain't that far.
Cheese and rice. This car's awesome. Love this car.
Let's see how he is on the green.
The only thing, if I really get
See if
into
you can
it
cut
though,
this light.
it's got wheel hops. It's got shitty stock shocks in the front. See, it takes a minute. It's all. Oh, we're going.
It's a Ford.
Let's go get the other Ford, buddy. I really want to get a tuner for it. Start putting some parts in the hood.
Well, Google had a thing on the main thing about the Chevy small block.
What do you mean?
Google, when you hit Google, it always pulls up like a random story or whatever. It's on the Chevy small block. And some like huge Ford racing guy, whatever, switched to LS.
Cheaper.
Cheaper, same horsepower, more reliable.
I don't know about reliable.
Oh, that's what he said, and he's the one that owns a Ford and only ran Ford.
When you get into real racing though, A lot of those motors, they're not Ford, Chevy, or Dodge anymore.
Well, no, you start getting
They're
just
custom
machined
billet motors and
parts.
stuff.
Yes.
In operation, they're copied, and they're all about the same, reliability-wise. But you can build 2 Chevys for what it costs to build a Ford motor or a Mopar motor. Mopars are expensive as shit too. So we just sent out a big fat check. That was really cool. That really meant a lot to us. Told you we'd be right back. Was that even 10 minutes? Probably not. You guys got anything else you want to add to this show?
Well, I want to give a shout out to Janelle and Jamie. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys realize how much work they did.
Wow, but you lied.
I just gave her the shout out. Taking everybody's names and organizing the printouts, so you knew what races were up, and Gabe knew at Tech who was up next, and
Dealing with the raffle at the same time.
and collecting money for raffle tickets, and everything was counted out in envelopes. When I walked into the bank with that envelope of cash to get that cashier's check, and I said, "Here's $3,226." The girl started counting it out, and she's like, "Oh, I got like 3,100," and I'm like, "I don't know. See what your machine says." And she slapped it in the machine, and sure enough, what Janelle wrote on that paper in there was in that envelope. I was like, "Damn."
There was one point about mid part of the day where I thought the computer had made a mess up somehow. It put somebody in one lane and somebody in the other lane, and they weren't supposed to be in those lanes, according to the sheet. Because I heard him talking, and I figured out whose names they were, and I looked, and the guy that was supposed to be in the left lane was in the right lane. And I said, wait a minute. And that's when I stopped the thing, and I was like, hold on, guys. You guys are supposed. They're like, oh, no, we switched. And I'm like, well, you guys got to let us know that. I'm going off of him saying left lane 1. I'm not going off of names. I'm off on that race number and the left and right. So if you guys are ever at a race, and it's legal to do that for that race, to swap chips, swap lanes in your chip race, then you guys gotta tell the people running the place that you swap. Hey man, we swapped, just to let you guys know. Because when I had sent that light and not figured that out right then, when he said left lane 1, it was the guy. You know what I'm saying? It was yeah. So anyway, other than that, you guys did such a great job. I had perfect printouts. I mean, everything was awesome. I don't know why halfway through the boxes disappeared. I really liked the boxes.
Because I only...
Was it more time to do that?
I had to add more.
Oh, God.
And
it was taking more time.
Yeah, just too much time. I get it. No, it was a lot, because there was a good half-hour break. There was a lot of names. There was a lot of people there. There's one photo of all the cars that I'm standing over on the left-hand side, and the camera's kind of tilted, and it's just showing this sea of cars. There must have been $200,000 worth of remote control cars sitting there. I mean, it was just the turnout was it wasn't quite as good as we thought it was going to be due to kind of what happened, but all in all, we had a great race. It went really smoothly. My teammates had a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. It was 111 degrees that day. We were just dying out there, and everybody just marched through it like a soldier. Anything else you guys want to add?
We had 48 entries.
48 entries, and that was
just to the big race.
That was just the big race.
Payout to first place, I think, was similar to what was in Vegas.
Very close.
But in Vegas, they did a 90-10 split. So I took home $3,800, and second place only took home $400 or whatever it was.
Okay.
Second place got almost $1,000 in our race.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The other one, I think his name's Philip. He's a local guy. He won the car and the shark body.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to him. He walked over to me, said, "Hey, I'm just here to help out. What can I do?"
He did that to me, yeah. What's up? Thank you so much, brother.
I put him on the starting line. He recorded starts until his phone overheated. Next thing I know, he's got an ice pack on the back of his phone.
He
still
worked his butt
recording.
off all day.
I got a glove full of ice. I was down there trying to film the last couple races, live streaming the races, and then my phone shut down. Like,
So
great.
And then to see
I remember
him,
you saying that. My phone's overheating. I'm like, your what is what?
It was scalding.
and then to see
hot.
him, I don't know. I think he had a race car, or no prep car already.
Yeah,
but,
he has one. Because him and his kid both have one.
But to see him win
They
that
come
one
on
was
every once in a while.
pretty cool.
He told me after the race that, I think this is the story, he was building himself a car, but he wanted to build one for his son, and he didn't have the money to right then to put that into the car to make it carbon fiber and stuff. But now that he won this, he's like, oh, that's my car, and I can give the other one to my... I was like, awesome, dude. Again, we helped another kid. I mean, It just from the bottom of my heart, you guys. That's it. It's in the mail. St. Jude's.
Yeah,
Getting
because we know the RC stuff ain't cheap. It costs more to buy an RC body for my other car today than it was to fill the tank of my truck today.
yeah.
I wish I could say the same.
Yeah, me
I
too.
thought it was a fuel.
But that's pretty much what tonight's show is about, you guys. Is sending the check out, and all of us to have this warming feeling in our hearts, which is
Philip
payment for all our hard work.
Hagelin, I think. I slaughtered that, Philip. I'm sorry.
Hunter,
What did I
how
say?
bad those mid-motors handed us our ash.
That's what he said.
Well, they did. I mean, I wouldn't say how bad, but they definitely did work.
Yeah, no, they
worked
did.
like they. I've never doubted them.
We take
I will
our,
personally still stick with rear motor.
we take our losses when we have them. I think what it boiled down to is Chase was nervous and he just beat himself. The spur gear actually.
You had other areas top dudes coming out and racing an 11-year-old in our top car.
The spur gear blew out when I raced.
You know, and I think you had called over to me at the end of the day like, hey, so and so, and I didn't even know who you were talking about. I was looking at you, and I was holding like 80 pounds of gear, and I was dripping sweat, and my shirt was drenched, and I looked at you and I said, not a chance in hell am I unloading my truck and getting my fucking car out and sitting here for another second in 111 or 113 degree weather to charge a battery to race somebody. I wanted to, but the one race I wanted didn't come. And as much as I would have loved if it was 78 degrees out, I would have stayed there till 8 o'clock at night, bullshitting with you guys and run races. Yeah, but man, it was just too flipping hot. I'm a fat kid. It was over. I was done. We were there for like 12 hours. I mean, you know, it was a long race. So it was a really long race. So being as we didn't run the race and then finish it, what we did is we broke it up into heats. So we had 3 classes. We ran the first round, the first round, the first round. Then we took a break and did buybacks for the second round. We figured out the second round. Then in the 3 classes, we did second round, second round, second round, and we kept doing that like heat racing. And I think it worked really, really good. I think that once people hear enough stories about how smoothly and how awesome the race was, and it wasn't just like, okay, we started here, we ended here, it's done. It was better than that, you know? And that in itself, I think, is going to be a format maybe for other future races that other people hold, and I'm excited about that too.
I do want to give a shout out. I can't remember his last name, but the young kid out of the Bay Area, Van. Because he's watched all our videos. He's built his car off of everything.
Was that the
we
young
talked
kid that
about.
had the white pickup?
No. Van is the one I raced in the second round. He knocked me out in the second round.
I don't remember.
Young kid. The very first time I met him was when I went down to San Jose, down to the cash race they had down there at NorCal Hobbies, and talking with him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know. I watch all your videos." I'm just like, "Oh, okay," because even in my work shirt, people are like, "Hey, Randy," I'm like, "Well, like, how do you know my name?" Like, not even don't my name's on my shirt. Well, for work, it wasn't then.
You're
but
YouTube famous,
it's
homie.
just like I don't know. That stuff I'm always like, "How do you know me? What do you mean?"
Yeah.
But talking with him, his wheelie bars for that race down in San Jose, this kid made up his own wheelie bars out of shelf brackets, like the commercial shelf brackets hold like the glass shelves.
Just
and
2
clip
sticks
in.
on the ground?
No, he had wheels on and everything.
Oh, really?
Him and his dad built a set of wheelie bars to come out and run.
That's
Because
awesome.
his car left so hard, it was always on the rear.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of redneck
But, yeah.
engineering right at the last moment.
No, it worked.
Yeah.
He did really well. No, he did really well with that car with his homemade wheelie bars.
I think I remember. Did he have dark hair?
Yeah, he was not very tall. No, not a lot of people are very tall, I guess.
I remember him. Was
I
another?
do. I remember him walking up saying his name.
Yeah, Van.
I think so too.
Because you kept saying, "What, Dan?" No, Van.
We had one that was misspelt on there, and his name was like Eli, and it was
Oh,
like,
it was Edison.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he's another Bay
I
Area
forgot
guy.
the S.
I know.
The first time.
And I was like, what is EDS? I was like, what is this?
No, Edison's
EDS, bring it to the line.
He's another Bay Area guy.
He's from San Jose.
We had a,
I think Pinole, San Jose, something like that. I don't know if it's all the same if you go.
Edison Villanueva.
Yep.
oh, that's Steve's brother.
No.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we went through that. Yeah. I was like, what are the chances that there's another Villanueva that's racing? Steve Villanueva is the owner of R1 Works. Super nice guy, top-notch human being. Really good guy, and that was just an added bonus after we switched to R1. Can I say we've switched to R1 officially?
That's what I'm running now.
Yeah, that's what we're
I've
running.
been running, so.
I've been done doing it.
And you were still in hobby lane. Oh, Tony Cortez. Hey, don't talk about Baby T, lol. I'm
Baby T,
I'm racing
ripping
right
the
now.
microphone the way I do.
Hey, Tony, who won the car? The giveaway.
What car?
I'll explain it later.
Okay.
no Robert.
This is something I'm missing here, but he'll explain it later. So.
Steve must be Filipino.
Yes, I believe so. He's just the nicest guy. I've talked to him for hours and hours before, and he's just a like-minded thinker. As far as tech and future tech and problem solving, and it's really always nice to talk to Steve. So, if Gabe's out there, oh my God, what are we
Gabe's out
thinking?
there.
Gabe.
Gabe's on.
Gabe Abramson, you are my hero. Gabe came out and worked his ass off. I think he had a lot of fun. I hope he had a lot of fun. He's one of my best buddies, and I can't stress enough how grateful we are for everything he did for us on Race Wars.
Well, I made a sweet barter at Race Wars. I traded a breakfast burrito for a bag of beef jerky.
Yeah.
I didn't get either.
I got some jerky from Gabe. I got
That's
home.
where I got mine.
It was so damn hot. I literally laid on my garage floor. And I look over and she's just sitting there.
You just downing it?
And then I look and I'm like, where's that new flavor Gabe was talking about? And there's the empty bag laying on the garage floor. I'm like,
At least you guys got some. I missed the boat. When Gabe was handing it out, I was like, no, I can't come over there right now. I got to do this.
Well, they tried paying me for the breakfast burrito because I went and grabbed like 6 of them. And I was like, nah, don't worry about it. I was like, I already gave some away already, so I'm not going to charge one person now. I'm in charge anyway, so fuck it. That was like $35 in breakfast burritos. Like, whatever, I don't care.
so the only thing I would say we do different if we run this race again next year or whenever we do it, there was a guy that showed up to tech. I'm not going to say names. No need to blast him on the internet,
Yeah.
but his battery was over voltage every time he came up. So I'm thinking the next race you get warned once,
The next time
second
you're out,
time you're out.
you're out and you don't get your money back.
It's just, I mean, it's fair to everybody. The rules were announced long before the race.
6 months.
844 is max. If you show up to tech with more than that, we'll let you run your car down the one time, and then if it happens again.
Okay.
But like I said,
So when it comes to battery voltage, next year we will be less lenient.
it is what it is. It's over, and we made a lot of money for St. Jude's, and that's all we
Dude,
need to
I'm
worry
stoked,
about.
you guys. I really am. It being a hot race for me, it was a long day, and I got to tell you, as much as it's really unheard of coming out of my mouth, because I love RC cars, I have since I'm 10 years old. By the time I woke up Sunday, the day after, and I was so sore just from running around like a chicken with my head cut off, that I didn't want anything to do with RC cars that day. I was like, nope.
I didn't leave the house.
We went to the
I didn't
lake.
either.
We went to the lake, took the boat out, and I was I was looking at my RC boats, and I'm like, nope,
I'm not even standing.
not
in the
even
sun.
no.
Don't even go there.
So
Well, the next day was hotter, so I definitely didn't leave the house.
And then this week, if you're not from around here, we have not only some wildfires going, but a lot of wildfires because of our inability
Mismanaged.
to manage our state. But anyway, so Tuesday we woke up and we had a marine layer come in, a fog, and the way it trapped the smoke, it blocked the sun out of like half of California. I kid you not, it was like living in Alaska. It's like the sun forgot to come up.
I think that was Monday too, because Monday was a lot cooler. All Sunday was a lot cooler than Sunday. It was 113.
Tuesday was definitely the dark day.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was-
And it was, between work and having to deal, so the PM, the particulate matter 2.5 rating on a normal day in a normal big city, even with your average smog, no fires going, is 15 to about 35 PM. At 100, people with breathing problems shouldn't be outside. 150, people shouldn't be outside at all breathing. On Monday and Tuesday, Nevada was over 400. And I had to work in it all day. And, with working with that and getting just pounded from every department in the city, and after a long couple hot days, and I was I was trying to stay off the internet as much as I could. I was trying to not get into anything with anybody with RC cars. I just kind of had to focus on work. and making it through the week. It's been a long week here. It's been hot as hell. It's been smoky. It's hard to breathe. All of our chests are burning, and so is our state. So, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to the men and women in law enforcement and in fire.
What about September 11th?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. Today's a very sad day for me, and I think that every year that a true patriotic American gets a little bit sad in their heart due to a lot of people call it a loss, I call it a murder of 2,799 people in the World Trade Towers. And this year it hurts a little bit more because there's a lot of Americans that haven't forgotten. And I believe there's a small portion or a large portion of this country right now that has forgotten and is willing to accept and vote for socialism and other stuff. I won't get into politics, but it just makes me sad. I feel like that a lot of politicians and stuff are taking all those deceased people in vain. So that really irks me. So I'd like to take my hat off for 9/11 and just say we didn't forget, man. So unless you guys got anything else. Let's conclude this show then, you guys. We might. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to go live next Friday. We're going to take a week off and amp up for a good tech video. I think it's time we get a good tech video in. The last video was a week before Race Wars. We didn't do anything. We just talked about Race Wars, and tonight we didn't do anything tech. It was all about Saint Jude's, So look forward to some R1 stuff. We're going to be doing some tuning, some ways that we tweak the speed controls for drag racing. I believe in my heart that it's the best platform on the market right now. There are other platforms. If that's what you want to spend your money on, that's fine. But we really want to go over this R1 stuff, which is just taking the world by storm, and it's just taking over everything. And we love it. So we want to show you guys more about it, explain to you what we know about it. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. Jamie Garlup. Sorry she couldn't make it tonight. The camera's just been there on a lifeless stick all night.
Well, at least it hasn't moved.
Randy,
No one's getting
thanks
dizzy.
for helping at Race Wars. Ricky, thanks for helping at Race Wars, brother. Without my good buddies here and the team of NPRC drivers and people that we know that help us put this on, it wouldn't have been possible. So, from 707 Streetcars, we are 707 Streetcars, and we'll see you guys next week.
In honor of Jamie.
Oh. Paul, if you're out there, keep up the good fight, brother. We love you. Have a good weekend, guys.